Okay, class, today what we're going to do is take a look at how these glaciers erode and change the surface of the land. So, what are some of the features that are caused by glaciers? Before we get into that, what we need to talk about is the way in which glaciers create erosion. And it's through a process called plucking. And plucking works like this. You know what it means to pluck, like pluck fruit off a tree? It's similar to that. So, the glaciers, of course, are made of ice and they have some melting occurring around them so that water can get into rocks around the glacier itself and then freeze in there and expand and kind of break off pieces of rock. And as the glacier moves, it plucks pieces of that rock and carries it with the ice as it moves down slope. Okay. So this is how we get rock material pulled off and moving with the glacier itself. Also, some of that is from abrasion, like just rubbing and scraping and pulling material with it. But the process of plucking is the main feature. So when all these rocks are pulled off as it moves, it creates these very distinct land features. We'll talk about some of those. You're going to fill out your diagram on your note sheet. This part on your note sheet right here is what you'll fill out as we move through here. Okay, so the first feature is a horn. A glacial horn is a pyramid-shaped peak where there are glaciers eroding on three sides of it, so plucking rock off on three sides, and it creates this specific shaped peak. Also, after that, we have an arête. An arête is a knife blade ridge, so very sharp on two sides, and that's because it has a glacier eroding on two sides, pulling material away from it. We can have a cirque, which is a bowl-shaped area where the glacier originates, where it's first forming and starts to move. As it moves down slope from there, it pulls material and creates this very steep area, bowl-shaped area called a cirque. The next feature, these are larger ones. So when we talk about a valley glacier, this is what a valley glacier would form, these very distinct U-shaped valleys. So this is the main glacial valley that's thousands of feet thick, carving out this the rock underneath it. And then above that, we can have what are called hanging valleys. So if you think about a river is a large piece of water, and feeding into it are all these creeks. And glaciers work the same way. You can have a large glacier with small alpine glaciers feeding into it, and they don't erode as fast as the main glacier. And therefore, what happens is the main glacier lowers the floor of the valley much faster than the tributary glaciers can keep up. And so they're left hanging above the valley floor. Okay? Our last feature here is what's called a striation. And with ice moving and all these rocks in it, it scratches the surface as it moves. And so we use striations to indicate areas where glaciers have moved in the direction in which they've moved. Today, what you're going to do is start your glacier poster. You're going to use this stuff from your notes and stuff from the textbook to be able to begin half of that project today. Good luck.